There is IP load balancing, there's failovers, but when it comes to DNS, it's not really going to work.
This episode is made possible by OIT VoIP. Find your best-in-class revenue generation for MSPs all over the world. Learn more via the link in the show notes.
Good morning, and welcome to the December 13th episode of MSP Dispatch, your source for news, community events, and commentary in the MSP channel. My name is Tony Francisco, and today I am hosting with no one, myself. So we're actually going to go through some things one-on-one, mano-a-mano, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. So let's jump right into the news. In my first story, Google puts AI agents at the center of Gemini update. In a story from Reuters.com, Google has launched the second generation Gemini AI model featuring virtual assistants with greater autonomy. CEO Sundar Pichai described this as a new start of a new agentic era, where AI agents can perform tasks, anticipate needs, and act on behalf of users with supervision. This Gemini 2.0 Flash model now processes images and audio, supporting applications like AI overviews in Google Search. Google is leveraging its vast user base across Search, Android, and YouTube to regain leadership in the AI field, competing with OpenAI and others. New initiatives include Project Astra, which integrates AI with real-time camera inputs and prototype eyeglasses, and Project Mariner, which enhances browser automation. Agents are an executioner of the processing, the logic. I feel like there are quite a few canonical examples of where this could go wrong. What are the incentives, though? The incentives are to process, correlate this data that they have been hoarding for decades and making something with this data. And by executing it in some capacity, meaning, hey, based on this logic, what is the next step? If you know your past pretty well, you're really good at foreseeing the future. And that's what AI is doing. It is now going to be able to execute that in some capacity. What is the capacity? I think we're in that first phase of execution. This is something a little bit more in the project planning phase. It could get scary. However, it could be magical. So what I'm trying to figure out from the rest of the audience in the MSP world that we're actually talking to right now, is this a critical, absolutely requirement of all AI to be able to execute? Or are we just wanting AI just to process it, then we do the execution? I think we're all leaning towards the agent side of things. I'm just curious as where it's going to go. And I would love to hear from the MSP communities on what you would like to see. But until then, let's jump into the next story. In our next story, and we all felt it, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp were hit by a massive worldwide outage. And a story from bleepingcomputer.com. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and WhatsApp experienced a global outage on December 11th, 2024, approximately 12:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Users reported being unable to access the platform or send WhatsApp messages, with Facebook displaying an error message about the issue. While services began to recover for some regions by 1:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, others continued to face disruptions. Meta acknowledged the outage on X, apologizing for the inconvenience and promising to restore access quickly. By 7:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Meta announced that the issue was nearly resolved, with final checks underway. The incident follows previous outages, including one on March 2024, a DNS-related disruption in 2021, and without a status page for consumer services, Meta has left users increasingly frustrated. So for those of you who felt that outage, I apologize, because we all knew it was coming. Every single one of us that understands DNS and how the critical nature of DNS affects literally everything associated with it understands that these outages are very possible. Let me tell you what happened. I do believe this is in the late 90s. A power outage occurred where the entire northwest of the United States lost power at one time, just for a few hours. One instance triggered a power outage in the entire northwest United States. DNS holds that same power, but I think at a larger level. It's everything associated to the domain. So my question to you, the MSP community out there, what do you suggest a solution would be for something that has a single point of failure that can literally cause an instantaneous supernova of a problem across the board with everything associated to a single domain? Now, there is IP load balancing, there's failovers, but when it comes to DNS, it's not really going to work. There has to be some level of abdication, meaning the act of giving up your power and authority once you assign a domain name to something. If there's a problem with that domain name, it's going to affect the everything associated to it. I don't have a solution, but I would love to hear from the MSP audience. That was a nasty outage. A lot of people were affected, and I think it was a sign of things to come. In the meantime, you know what we should all be doing? Talking about some events coming up. Our upcoming events, one of them still in progress, December 11th till today, the 13th, an in-person event, MSP Expo, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. On December 17th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a virtual event, The Automation Edge, How MSPs Can Differentiate in 2025, presented by Roost. On December 19th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, another virtual event, How to Use AI in Your MSP to Get More Leads and Profits while eliminating up to 70% of mundane tickets and tasks, presented by Technology Marketing Toolkit. So everyone out there, please, please, please stay engaged. Virtual events, in-person events, stay on top of these podcasts, forward some of these stories to your customers so they know that you're on top of this. And most importantly, if you're not able to do any of that, other than listen to the show, get involved in the Discord server. We have a Discord link right here. Boom. Look at that right there. There's your Discord server. Get involved. There's a lot of people in there, really smart people, engaging, talking, voting on stories, which one should be up on this particular show. In the meantime, to everyone out there, thank you for listening. And if anything, please be safe and stay educated.
If you found this episode eye-opening, catch more MSP Dispatch at 10 a.m. throughout the week. Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.